it's me, Sam, your Kidlit tour guide and all things books. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so happy to have you, and I am ready to inspire you to explore and build your intentional bookshelf. And if you're a veteran, welcome back. Today I am talking about 4 children's books about following the rules. So let's jump right in. Book number 1 is No Hitting by Karen Katz. This book is a lift the flap book, which means that if you open it up, you will see different little flaps that you lift up, hence the lift the flap. Now this entire book is not actually about not hitting, that's just the title of it. It involves all sorts of different good positive behavior traits, such as being kind and not screaming and also not hitting. This book is an amazing entry point into following the rules. What I love about this book is it's short and sweet. I think it's got about 5 or 6 pages, and my daughter will find this book when she's having her alone time in her room, and she'll actually read it to herself and tell us no hitting. Another thing I like about this book is it not only addresses the problem, such as no hitting, it also addresses the solution. Instead of hitting your sister, you can hit some pots and pans. Instead of sticking your tongue out at mommy, you can lick a lollipop. I love it because it gives my daughter alternate actions to do instead of these bad ones. Kind of along the same lines is book number 2. It is called Little Dinos Don't Hit, and it's by Michael Dahl. This is another book that encourages your children not to hit, not to kick, not to punch. Honestly, the reality of having a toddler sometimes. I like this book for a different reason because it includes dinosaurs. It's also written by one of my personal favorite kids lit authors, Michael Dahl. He wrote the book Be a Star Wonder Woman, among many others, and it's just a very actionable book. The pages are super bright and vibrant, and it has simple characters with beautiful colored backgrounds. Again, just like the No Hitting book by Karen Katz, this book really shows your children, don't do this, instead do this. It's always good to have a positive reinforcement instead of just the negative, don't do this. Having okay, so if I don't do that, where can I put my energy? One thing I think that makes this book really unique is that it addresses why a child might want to hit in the first place. It says, little dinos have lots of energy, which a lot of the times when my daughter hits us or I see children acting out, it's often because they have this surge of energy and surge of emotion, whether it's happy or sad, and they want to get that out of their bodies in some way, and sometimes that's in a physical action such as hitting. And so this book actually recognizes that phenomenon and provides a solution. So instead of hitting, you can help. And of course I love the ending of this book because it encourages our little dinos not to hit and instead to hug. To get a little broader with regards to teaching your kids to follow the rules, I love the book Mustache Baby by Bridget Hioes. This book is simultaneously extremely funny because it involves a little baby who grows a mustache, and his parents are trying to decide if it's a bad guy mustache or a good guy mustache and what all of that means. But it really addresses the toddler years where your kids go from being super nice and sweet to all of a sudden kind of evil with their bad guy mustaches. So when Mustache Baby has his happy mustache, his good guy mustache, he does all sorts of good things. He's noble, he's just, he's an officer, he's a law-abiding citizen, and then all of a sudden when he gets angry and his bad guy mustache comes out, he starts acting out. He's a serial criminal. He is robbing train tracks, he's stealing things. He's doing all sorts of things that you would associate with like tantrums and just acting out with your kids. And what I love about this is he goes to jail, which really is just like time out or just having time on his own in his room, which is something that my family enforces in our home. So I like this book because it shows you that yes, you can have your good mustache days, you can have your bad mustache days, but at the end of it, you have to follow the rules, but everyone still loves you, even on those days when you're wearing your bad guy mustache. And finally, the last book that I love for teaching your kids to follow the rules is Don't Touch This Book by Bill Cotter. This book is funny. It's actually a part of a series of books. There's Don't Touch This Button, Don't Touch This Book, and then Don't Touch This Button Christmas Edition. I like it because it's a very funny way to encourage your kids to follow directions. Literally, the direction is in the title, Don't Touch This Book. And I'll show you just one of the pages from it. We follow the character Larry, who is in all of the books from the series, and he's super funny, very lovable character. And his biggest request in this book is don't touch this book. And so he instructs your children not to touch this book, and then later says, okay, now it's time to touch this book. And then all sorts of fun things happen. This is one of those books that requires audience engagement. So it requires your kids to touch things and do different actions to elicit things to happen throughout the story. But the point is you wait for the direction to actually touch the book. And in the case of the other book, Don't Touch This Button, you wait for the instruction to touch the button. So your children can practice patience, and they can also practice just generally following the rules with this super funny, super silly book. All right, you guys, so those are my 4 favorite books that we have on our intentional bookshelf that help us teach our daughter to follow the rules. If you liked this video, I highly encourage you to subscribe. I talk about Kids Lit all the time, building our intentional bookshelf, and also the books on my bookshelf that I'm reading. I'm a mom and I love to read on my own, and I also love to read with my daughter because I truly believe that I'm having an impact on who she becomes through the books that I'm reading to her. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you on my next video.